Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Average Gamer Podcast. Let's turn the music off. There we go. My name's Classic Evolved or Jordan, and welcome back to the Average Gamer Podcast, episode number 17. I finally actually have my page up, so I know what episode it is. I always pause enough to pull up my YouTube. Yeah, episode number 17. About 2 weeks ago, we're talking about the opening of the COD League, and then Kobe, and the tragic passing and everything. But this week, as you can see from the title, it's a little bit different. We're not going to talk as much about COD as much, but as you guys know, with the Average Gamer Podcast, we don't just talk, gaming. We kind of talk sports. We kind of talk about everything, to be fair. But we try to stay gaming related. And one thing I know a lot of gamers have in common is watching anime. Now, I gotta say this for everyone tuning in, listening right now. I'm not a big anime guy. I never really have been. I never really got the whole idea of it. The only anime I had watched was about maybe even a year ago, and it was Attack on Titan. Now, I'll go into the backstory of this all, why we're talking this. But for anyone watching who watches, these podcasts, thank you. I know there's not a lot of you guys, but if you do watch this on a consistent basis ish, thank you. I appreciate it a lot. But yeah, so the main topic today is gonna be anime. So yeah, I started out. I never really got into anime. I never understood the reason people watched it. To be fair, I never really got the drive towards watching it. But I decided to start watching Attack on Titan because Attack on Titan had this story and this idea that I kind of liked, the whole Titans, the walls, everything. And I finished it in probably 2 weeks. I didn't really rush through it. And I thought it was really good. But after I finished watching that, I kind of just stopped watching anime. Now, my friend John actually kind of pushed me towards watching anime in general, and he said Attack on Titan was pretty good, so I was like, screw it. I had heard about Attack on Titan before, so I was like, I'll watch it. And I always thought Attack on Titan was pretty good. Now, I haven't seen it in so long to where I kind of forget the story ish and the characters. It's I even forget the main character. And I could look it up real quick, but that's not the main thing. Uh but yeah, I liked Attack on Titan. I know the new season comes out in the fall of 2020, so I'll probably rewatch it, or at least rewatch the last season because it's kind of long, and I don't really care that much. Though if I start watching it again, I might actually kind of like it again. But the reason I'm talking about this is because I was at work, and me and a buddy of mine who I work with, we kind of got on the topic of what we watch. And I always just said I watch Twitch, and that's pretty much the case. When I'm doing anything I do, I'm always watching Twitch. If I'm playing games, I watch Twitch. I find it really hard to play games that take my whole focus. So I love playing Battlefield, PlanetSide 2, Rocket League, Dead by Daylight. Those are games I can play, I can focus on, but I can still have a stream on the side and be listening to it. Where if you're playing a single player game or Escape from Tarkov, you literally have to kind of have your sole focus on the game. And I don't really like doing that very often. It's just not really my thing. So I've always been, I love watching Twitch. Huge Twitch fan. I probably watch thousands and thousands of hours on Twitch, just different streams. It's just kind of what I do. But my friend from work was like, you know what, you should try. He started listing off some animes, and I thought Goblin Slayer sounded cool, so I watched Goblin Slayer, and it was good. I love the story. I love the main character, Goblin Slayer, but it was a little. It was a little quick. It was a little short, and I think they're doing another season of it. And also, it was a little graphic, but what are you gonna do? But I thought that was super cool. And after I finished watching that, I finished it in 2 days. I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. I'll probably not watch anime again. Then my friend said, try Sword Art Online, and yeah, I did, and I started watching I don't know how many days ago, and I'm in season 3, and I gotta say, it's by far easily my favorite, one of my favorite shows I've ever watched. I'm not a big show guy. The only like show I've watched outside of like Attack on Titan or Sword Art Online now was like The Walking Dead, and I only watched like 2 seasons of it. I don't really like watching shows because you gotta wait a week for the new episode. Blah, it's kind of like you know. But I started watching Sword Art Online, and instantly I was like attached to this idea. I thought it was so sick. Now, the first season and the whole, actual, and obviously spoilers, but the first season, or at least the first half of the first season, is in Sword Art Online, where, these characters get stuck in this virtual world game, and if they die, they'll die in real life, and there's no logging out. And it turns out they were actually in the game for 2 years in the real world, and their bodies had to be bring to like or their bodies were brought to hospitals and stuff, whatever. Now I loved the opening, the first like I think it's like 14, 15 episodes, when they're in Sword Art Online, but I didn't realize, in the grand scheme of the show, how short amount of time that really is. Like that's not a lot of episodes where they're actually in Sword Art Online. But those first like 14-ish episodes, I think, were literally probably the greatest. I mean, given I've only watched 2 other animes and really like 4 other shows in my life, it's got to be like the greatest piece of show I've ever watched. Like I was so engaged the entire time. I loved the characters, Kirito and Asuna. It was just legendary. Now I know a lot of people didn't like the second half of season 1. I think it's called like Fairy Dance, where Kirito goes into this other game called like Alf Online or something, or L. It's kind of like, it's short for like, not elf. I don't. I think it's something like that, where all the characters are like fairies type thing. And it turns out that Asuna's still stuck in the virtual world, and so Kirito has to go and try to save her in this different game. And I didn't, I haven't had spoilers on this show or anything. And when he got out of the game, I thought he would find Asuna and like somehow they end up back in Sword Art Online or something. Because before this whole thing happened, I saw there were like, I think 4, or well, technically 3 seasons of Sword Art Online. I was like, wow, so they're in this game for a long time. I got a lot of seasons. But when that happened and they got out, and it turned out that one of the main uh, guys, I think his name was like Heathcliff, was actually the maker of Sword Art Online, and he figures it out, and then they fight, and he ends up killing him. Well, they end up kind of killing each other. But that was like a total just, I did not see it coming. And when he gets out of the game and then he goes back into like the other game, the whole fairy dance thing, uh it was like mind blowing to me because I never had spoilers for the show. I mean, I've never really heard of it before. My friend told me about it like 5 days ago. And but that whole scheme I thought was actually super good. Now a lot of people, I was looking on like forums because I was trying to figure out like what the season like 3 and 2 kind of, if they were actually related to season 1, and like, it turns out they are. But I was reading forum posts, and people don't actually like the second part of season 1 where he goes into the other game. I thought it was dope. I thought it was sick. The idea of going into another game, it was like a whole new world. But it had me thinking the other day, like, they're really only in the Sword Art Online for like a short amount of time, but it feels like, especially for my like the first time watching it, it felt like we were in that world for like a whole season, but it really was like 14 episodes, which is pretty crazy, pretty crazy. And then obviously season 1 ends and you go to season 2. Now a lot of people didn't like season 2, uh, because, and actually, can I pull this up? Do I have it? Well, season 2 was Gun Gale Online, so he gets assigned to go into this alternate game to figure out why hold on, let me pull this up. He goes into this other game called Gun Gale Online where, if you die, you don't die in real life, obviously, but this guy is somehow killing people with a gun in the game. Like when he shoots the person, they die in real life, and this whole scheme plays out. And I thought it was really good, and it brought probably one of my favorite characters, Sinone, or however you want to pronounce her name. Uh, dope character, dope character. Honestly, better than Asuna. If you watch Sword Art Online, Asuna is like super dope while she's in Sword Art Online. Once they leave that realm, you kind of, even up to season 3, is kind of like she'll have like a moment, but she's not nearly as like powerful, I guess, as she seemed when she was in Sword Art Online. Kirito's still, legendary, GOAT status, I wish there was more of Clean or Klein, his friend, but there's really not. But then season 2 was interesting. It was interesting. I actually have the page up. I'm trying to remember everything that happened because I watched it so quick. But the whole idea of it was super dope for the first half of the season. But the same thing happened where halfway through the season they kind of get that whole thing settled. They figure out everything with the killings and stuff. And the second half of the season is actually probably the worst part of Sword Art Online for me so far because they go back to the Alphium Online game, the Elf game thing I was talking about, and they're trying to like protect the world, and then yeah, it's kind of just yeah, and then you have the whole moment with trying to remember their name. Oh, that's actually really bad. That is really bad. I'm forgetting the name. Uh, the whole where it's just based on around Asuna, and I'm trying to see if I can find the character. Oh yeah, Yuki. I think that's the name. Where Yuki ends up, well, spoilers. Yuki ends up dying, whatever. I never really got attached with those episodes. Like the second half of season 2 was kind of eh. Now I'm in season 3 though, and this whole storyline is honestly, I think, sick. So far, it's kind of like a new world that Kirito's stuck in. Now I'm on like episode 7, so obviously I still got a while to go. And then obviously there's season 3, like part 2, War of the Underworld, that happens as well, which isn't that many episodes, but it's only like 12. But it's this kind of arc now is also pretty cool. He's, Kirito's like back and he's stuck in a game. So I thought that was pretty cool that he's back stuck in a game, and they did it kind of in a way that wasn't like dumb. But I gotta say, this is like again, I was never into the anime genre, but watching Sword Art Online has like completely changed my view, I guess, on the whole thing. But I think it's kind of skewed my view. Now, if you're watching this or listening to this right now, and you watch anime and you've seen Sword Art Online, feel free to throw down some suggestions down below, because I gotta say, I feel like nothing will be able to compare to SAO. But I kind of said that about Goblin Slayer. When I finished Goblin Slayer, I was like, wow, that was like super good, kind of unique. I feel like nothing will beat it. And then I started watching SAO. And I feel like once you start watching another show, you kind of just get attached to the characters and you kind of keep watching it because you like it. But I don't know if anything will ever top these characters in Sword Art Online, especially through season 1. Kirito and Asuna, the whole arc was dope. Now, as cool as that the arc was with season 1, I think season 2, especially the first half of it, was dope. And then obviously now I'm in season 3, and I saw a lot of people saying how season 3 and this whole season 3 Alicization and then War of the Underworld is like the best part of SAO. So I guess we'll see. I'm on episode 7 and it's pretty good so far. So we'll see in like a week's time once I finish the show. Where we stand with that. And then obviously, if you guys didn't know, I believe it's in April 2020, they said the last season of SAO will release. So I'll probably rewatch it, in like Marchish. But for now, yeah, we'll finish SAO, and I'll probably bring that up again in the next podcast, and we'll see if I still really like it, and if I started another show, and we'll see if that other show. I think the next one I'm looking at is Black Clover. I think that's the one my friend. Yeah, Black Clover was the next one my friend said I might like. So we'll see how that one goes compared to SAO, and then yeah, we'll see from there. But outside of that topic, Call of Duty. Rumored that Call of Duty Warzone. Now, if you didn't know, Call of Duty is coming out with a battle royale for Modern Warfare called Call of Duty Warzone, and it's apparently now rumored to be set in early March release, which is kind of far away. It's a bit far away, and I know that technically they need the game's not going to last over the summer. Let's just say that. The second, the league kind of slows down, which I mean they've only had their first and second event, the tournament where and I don't think I talked about the tournament. Obviously the tournament in London, Huntsman won, the boys, Hex and the boys, Formal, Scump, Arcides, all the boys. But yeah, they got the W in London, and I think this week it's in Atlanta. I think FaZe is hosting it. But yeah, once the league kind of dies, Call of Duty always sort of slows down once it hits around the summertime. But if they do release this Call of Duty Warzone Battle Royale in March, that should kind of carry over into the summer, and it'll probably start dying towards the next release of COD because obviously March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and I don't know if COD's gonna release in November this year, but that's still like 6 months that Warzone or the new Battle Royale will have to kind of survive. Now I know a lot of people still play Blackout, but I know Blackout's slowly, starting to fade because obviously it's not getting updates anymore. I mean, they're not going to put resources into it anymore, so why even, I mean, you can continue to play it, and a lot of people do. I know, like, TP still plays a ton of Blackout, but, you know, something new, with Warzone is super cool. And we'll see how it kind of plays out. Apparently, it's rumored there's going to be 200 players on the map, and the map leaked is huge. So, yeah, I guess we'll see with Warzone. That'll be interesting. Very, very interesting. Besides that, though, I've been getting into PlanetSide 2. Obviously, the good old PlanetSide 2. I've been having some fun with it, and it's still popping. Really popping. The population is perfect still. You can still get into really good battles, big battles, and I've been having some fun with it because I've been trying to find an alternative to like Battlefield because I hate playing the new Battlefields like Battlefield 5 and 1. I hate. I can go back on Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, but like after like an hour or two, especially on like Battlefield 3, I just kind of get like bored because not to be like cocky, but I'm on the top of the leaderboard with like 70 kills at the end of the match, and I'm just like, it's fun, but it's like I've played it so much that it's kind of dull. I started getting back into Dead by Daylight as well, playing with some of the boys, and it's fun. But obviously, games only last so long. I'm still looking for that next thing. If you guys don't know, Hytale is like the prodigy of Minecraft. They still haven't released a date for it. If you don't know about it, look up Hytale, Hytale on Twitter. It is super cool. It's like Minecraft, but like if Minecraft came out today. It's so updated. It's so much more, at least from what they say and from the video clips they've shown. So that's something to look forward to. But yeah, I'm hoping the next Battlefield comes out in 2020, but we'll see. It probably won't, because they probably would have leaked some stuff for it by now. I was really hoping they would. And I'm really hoping they go modern or they go like Battlefield 2021 or what? Wait, no, what? God, I'm forgetting the name of it. The futuristic one that super old and half the people today haven't played. I wouldn't mind if they go in that direction as well. But, we'll see where things go. Right now, still, as of 2 weeks ago, and I think even as a month ago when I said it, Escape from Tarkov still kind of at the top of the gaming stratosphere at the moment. Grand Theft Auto 5, though, is starting to pick up a little steam. I know Summit was playing it last night. It's currently the 17th. And Summit was playing it last night. He took a little break from Escape from Tarkov, and it was fun. It was really fun. Because Escape from Tarkov's fun, but I've watched so much of it now. Even before it blew up, like a year and a half ago, when Summit was playing it, and it was like, it's fun, and it was fun when it's kind of blew up, but it does get a little stale. It's the same maps, the same thing, the same guns, because the VSS is like the gun everyone runs around with. It's kind of like, what are you going to do? A lot of people are hopping back on Fortnite too. The new season update is going to happen soon, apparently. So, yeah, a lot of people are going back to that. But outside of that, there's no really new games that are on the horizon, which sucks. You hope that there is, but obviously there's not. So, yeah, that's kind of all the gaming news we have. I know it's not a lot, but there's really not a lot happening in the gaming stratosphere. Obviously, again, what's it called? The new Half-Life game's coming out whenever it is. Not that I care, it's VR. And then Cyberpunk, but again, I don't really play single-player games. I'll probably watch a series on it, but I won't end up playing it. I've been playing Clash of Clans still. Yeah, Clash of Clans. I finally hit Town Hall 9, well, a little bit ago. And we're still just kind of grinding through the, upgrading everything. It takes forever. Clash of Clans takes forever, especially if you don't have gems. But yeah, that's pretty much all the gaming updates that I can think of. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the podcast. I think this one's a little bit shorter than normal, I think. It's pretty much on average like 30 minutes. I don't know how long this one's actually going to go because I actually had my storage get full on me like 3 times throughout recording this. So hopefully there isn't like too many cuts in the podcast. Hopefully you won't even notice it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I know we kind of rushed through the gaming topic of this week. Talked a little more, the anime show thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace out.